We're not going to talk about that. That was kind of a rough weekend, last weekend, as far as the Badgers and the Golden Eagles fans are concerned. But the fellas have all assembled. Here we go. Tim Scott is here. Erik Tasker is there. And the Paul Wagner is in studio. We're streaking here.
No, we're not streaking.
We're not streaking.
We're not streaking. We are sitting here clothed.
I think it's 2 weeks in a row now he's been in the studio.
Make for an interesting
Tasker,
show,
that's
it?
a streak. We have him for 2 weeks in a row in the studio. That is a streak, my friend.
It's got to start somewhere.
Exactly. Everybody have a good week?
Yeah, mine was pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah. I'm actually seeing birds now as we get into the conversation later in the hour. I'm starting to see birds now move a lot and then more into the pattern, crossing the Wagner property lines. So
Good.
I'm kind of happy.
Good. That's always good.
Yeah.
I have seen a boatload of turkeys all over the place. And I'm thinking to myself, the countdown is on.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. You know, it's been interesting as I drive through the Parkway, I really haven't seen much of any wildlife in there, which is very unusual.
Right.
And I feel like it's always around now that we're starting to see, big flocks of birds that are just kind of standing in the road, not really ready to move for anybody. It's been unusual.
You know where I saw this week? And I told you guys before the show, my wife and I went out and had dinner with yes, he's alive, Erik Tasker.
Yes.
We went and had dinner at Smoke on the Water on Okachi Lake. And I know we're in Madison as well, but just bear with us for a minute. But when you go through Milwaukee, you go the back way, Sawyer Road that way, out to Okachi Lake.
Yeah.
I was blown. We were going through about 6:30, 6:45. The deer were everywhere.
Yeah.
And Paul, it's becoming a heavier populated area. They're in yards. They're everywhere. And to bring this up because of the fact that you said here where that's kind of the norm of where the megaplex is, my wife and I were like, and then after dinner we're coming back that way and we're like, okay, let's just go slow to make sure, we don't hit something on the way home.
Turn the I-beams on.
Yes.
Like those Wagner girls did. But
yes. Yeah, that's a whole other story. So I got this, and I know this is not a political station or anything, but I just want to go over this one thing.
Okay.
So, obviously, my daughter's car was totaled out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we go to the non-named collision place and non-named insurance agents, and we go there, and they've been talking about tariffs and tariffs and how it's going to affect car parts and all this stuff. So I look at the breakdown. They end up totaling out our vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to get a new vehicle, and that's fine. We went and got a nice Chevy Trailblazer for her, and she likes it. It's all-wheel drive, and she loves it. And I looked at the breakdown. I don't think again, no disrespect to anybody in this business, but that little Ford emblem on the side, on the right rear front, or the right front quarter panel, $4.92 is priced at $98. $98 for this little stick-on thing that says Ford Escape on it.
Yeah.
And I know because I saw the $4.92 and then it says the price and then the labor to put it on.
Yeah.
This is becoming big pharma.
Yeah.
Car parts, just in my mind. So if these tariffs come in, they're just going to lower their prices because they have a big, huge markup, I'm assuming.
Right.
But just off the cuff, car parts is probably the biggest scam since a baseball player 9 years in the big leagues and couldn't get anybody out. Paul Wagner. So those two scams work hand in hand.
Wow. I noticed that when I because I got like the black graphics for the truck, and just for the black, like the blacked out or black and gray Ford emblem, the badge for the front, $250. I was like, I can just get a blacked out American flag sticker and put that over.
You guys are going to laugh at this, right?
Yes.
So my first job out of high school was at a factory called Northern Engraving.
Okay.
And my mom thought it would be great for me to earn some money before we went to college this summer, right? So what this factory did was that we made emblems for like tailgate emblems, like in the current trucks, maybe not so much, but back in the 80s, 90s, on the back of a tailgate, you had that metal strip that went across the back, like halfway halfway on the tailgate.
Yeah.
It said Chevrolet, Ford, whatever the brand was, that type of stuff, right? So I would stand in this factory all day long, and I would take these sheets that came off this machine, right? I swear to you, what you did was, and I had gloves up to my elbows, and you would dip these sheets because they had a film on them.
Yeah.
And you would dip them in kerosene, and then you would wipe the film off, and you would put it, and I turned to my left, and I put it in another machine that cut them.
Really?
Yes. So I haven't thought about that for almost 40 years. So you're bitching about car parts. I'm like, oh my God, that sweat factory I worked in. My mom thought it was a great idea. Yes. Yeah. But anyway, so there we go.
So we don't want to talk about. So anyway, good thing you went slow and we didn't hear about a deer hit or a deer accident. So very good. I'm glad you.
But
you guys
they're
made
out
it home
there.
safe.
Yeah.
Yes,
they're
they
out
are.
there. They're definitely out there.
They're definitely out there. So that's going on. You know, the other thing, too, that this week I've made, two things. Our Millford Hills hunt got pushed back. We're going to do it Wednesday.
Yep.
This coming Wednesday. We're excited about that. We'll have details on that next week on the show. We're excited about that. But also, I've made a commitment this year because I live next to a big body of water. I don't live on it, but I'm into walking distance. It's like, I don't know, 3 blocks away. Mm-hmm. I had all my fishing stuff last year. I put it in the water once.
Yeah.
So over the weekend, I got all of it out. I cleaned it all up. And I'm committed, man. I'm committed.
Yeah, I thought he was going to say he bought a boat.
Not only
that's what I thought he was going to say, too.
Well, here's the other thing, too, is that you kayak, right?
Yep.
Okay, we're a kayak. I call it a kayak couple, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking at a couple of new kayaks, and my wife doesn't know about it. Hopefully she isn't listening to the show. But it's time to do an upgrade.
Yeah.
It's time to do an upgrade. And so I'm looking at kayaks. One of the things that she thought about was, what about a 2-person kayak, right? I'm like, honey, that's called a canoe. Yeah. She goes, no, they make 2-person kayaks.
Let me call Lining Kugels.
Have you priced out a 2-person kayak?
I can't imagine they're cheap. Well, you probably can buy 2 1-seater kayaks for less than a 2-person.
Well, and so now what type of kayak do you have? Do you have the one that, you sit inside, or do you have one where
you sit on top?
You sit on top.
Yeah, so we have both. Sherry and Landry's kayaks are sit on top variations.
Right.
I bought a sit on top one at first and returned it because I was too topsy-turvy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a small person, so I have a lot of high center of gravity sitting
ballast.
in the on top. And then I ended up actually it's very open where I can see probably midway down my shins as I'm sitting in it, but it is a sit inside one.
How long is
mine is mine is a 10-footer. We have a 9.5 and an 8-footer.
What did you end up getting? Do you know 10-footers or?
I have 2 10-footers now.
10-footers. So 10 feet is good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you go a little bit bigger, what happens with it is you have room for a cooler now.
Yeah.
And now it becomes the canoe.
Then it becomes a canoe.
Right.
It becomes a canoe.
Yeah.
But see, that's part of it too, is that I'm going in, man. I'm going to get back on the horse.
Nice.
I'm going to do 4. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, why didn't you do this last year? It's like when our buddy Dan asked us about if we wanted to go out and hunt at Millford Hills. I'm like, I don't know. You're busy and you're busy. I'm like, no, let's go do this.
Let's just do it.
Yeah, let's kind of do it,
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, too, is that people, I don't know, if it's a generational thing, and I'm going to sound old here, but, and Wags, you and I are basically the same age, is that hunting was something you did for relaxation. You look forward to every year. Now it's like, oh, you hunt?
Right.
What's wrong with you? You hunt?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like you almost have to keep it under wraps that, I have guns and I like to shoot them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, come on.
Yeah, I still think that it is that for me. I always do my week or 10 days that I go up north, and, it's my way to unplug. It's at the end of the year, and I don't really care
just
what people think of me for being a hunter.
You just have to make time to do it. Like, you can have it, and you can sit in there, and you can say, hey, let's go out. Hey, one of these weeks, we got to get on the kayaks.
Yeah.
You almost got to grab the bull by the horns and say, okay, here's the deal. Let me see your schedule. Okay, you do this. This is Saturday morning. We're going to go, because Oconomowoc Lake and Lake Fowler, they actually have kayak. I'm just going to say, kayak ramps.
I've used the one that's
my gosh,
the one
those
that's
are
downtown.
So nice.
The one that's downtown?
Yes. Yeah. Even a guy like me could get, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to fall over.
It's nice. It's got the slots so you can pull in and push out. And
But that's the thing. You have to literally, when you get them, you got to tell her, we're going. We're going to go on Saturday morning for 4 hours or 3 hours or 2 hours, whatever you got.
Yeah.
Well, 2 years ago, I bought a kayak trailer because I sold the Jeep and the truck and everything else. So I have a kayak trailer now. And I'm like, I got to use this thing because it's taking up a lot of space in the garage.
Yeah.
Got to use it.
Didn't you buy a Jeep back again?
Yeah, no, not yet.
Oh, okay.
That's something else he doesn't know.
Not yet.
I was looking at
hey, so my Jeep,
be a wild
the camper.
year.
What do you got now? Well, I got a camper, I got a Jeep, and I got kayak.
I got to run up to Green Bay and see our stations up there. Meanwhile, there's an Appleton dealership I may stop by on the way back through. So yeah. God, I hope she's not listening to the show today. If she is, I'm in so much trouble. Burgers, hot dogs. Let's get after it because they're going to be flying out the door, aren't they?
Make as many as you can.
Yes, exactly.
Just keep them coming. And they actually they do a nice job of that. I mean, we talk about that all the time, that they just have such a large assortment of that. But it's so easy. I mean, anybody coming from Washington County that is driving to the stadium and they're going to tailgate, or even if you're coming from the Madison area and you're coming into town, it's like 15 minutes extra. Just, take the freeway north, jump over there to Burleigh. It's like 90th and Burleigh, and just run in there. They make it so easy. And it's just, pack it up. They've got beer brats, so you don't even have to boil them or do anything in advance. Just throw them on the grill. It's tailgate season.
So I was going through the freezer the other night, and I found the package. I'm going to make them this weekend. Teriyaki. What were they? Teriyaki bacon.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Teriyaki. It was a different one that you gave us, and I think when we did it at that time, you asked us like, what do we like?
Yeah.
And I think mine are maybe they're just teriyaki. I thought bacon was involved in this too, but no, it was. So those are going on the grill this weekend.
Yeah, I'm looking through this here. They've even got a list of all of their...
Do they really? All the different brats they have?
Yeah, and I think this is just kind of their, standard, but, Texas bacon poppers, fresh chorizo, Irish banger, Grecian lamb, kraut and onion, jalapeno cheddar.
You know what? Is Texas bacon popper a brat?
Yes.
That's what it is.
I think that is
it's
what
not
it was.
Teriyaki. It's Texas bacon popper. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they've got like 16, 17 of them on there, and then they always do their occasional rotation of some of the variety ones, and they've got their like blueberry breakfast sausage, and it's the spot. Just go in and grab a variety.
Here's the other thing too, that I don't know what you guys are doing for Easter, but everybody's coming to our house, right? And my wife's already freaking out about got to put the menu together and who's going to bring this and who's going to bring that. I'm thinking in the back of my mind, let's just kind of look at Bunzel's and what they have.
How about an Easter ham dinner, and you can just order from Bunzel's because they're already taking pre-orders for that.
That's what I'm saying. And Easter's later this year, too. Yeah. It's the last weekend in April, right?
19th, 20th, right around then, yeah.
I think it's later. I think it's like the 26th.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty late.
Yep.
And they've got two different options, a dinner for 5 to 6 or a dinner for 12 to 15. So, and if you have 18 to 20, you get a 5 to 6 and a 12 to 15.
Boom. There you go.
But yeah, it's so easy, and pickup is anytime between April 14th and April 19th. So it must be like the 20th. I think it's the 20th.
It is the 20th. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was later. So
okay,
yeah. So, but yeah, you're our one-stop shop and a one-stop shop for anybody.
What is the website again?
It's just bunzels.com, bunzels.com.
I was thinking about you the other day, Wags. Last Saturday, we were heading into Oconomowoc and took the exit. Was it 282 right there by the stadium?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming it was high school kids. But there was baseball players aplenty in that Saturday morning out doing their stuff.
Yeah, it's really nice. The Dock Hounds have done something really special for the community. The high schools, the local high schools can play some of their games there. Pewaukee, Milwaukee Marquette, Oconomowoc High School play their home schedule there. And, some of the local junior colleges, Brighton, Stratton. And I don't know necessarily if they've got it scheduled yet because I haven't seen it. But Brighton, Stratton, a Division II junior college here, will probably play Madison College. And Coach D, Davenport up there, Coach D, it's kind of in the middle. So
Davenport.
It would be really nice.
Yeah, I know Mike. Yeah.
If Madison College would play Bryant right there, Brighton Stratton right there. But again, so many different things going on. The availability of the place, obviously, you got to call the front office and find out who can play and what you can do. But the season starts. We start practice almost April 27th. That's a Sunday. First game is May 9th in Chicago. And right now they just started promoting single game packages. We have a K strikeout for cancer night. We have military appreciation nights. We have the flying monkeys again for for Wizard of Oz. We're doing a lot of different things at the stadium and so much to enjoy. The one single game packages that you should look at we're bringing in 4 old brewers.
I know. I was going to bring that up. You got Raleigh Fingers.
We got Raleigh Fingers.
You got Ted Simmons. You've got Robin
Yount.
And
Jimmy Gander. Yeah. And along with, not to piggyback Robin Yount because he can stand by himself, but we are also going to have Leroy Butler in, as we know.
Yeah.
Leapin' Lemonade is there, the collaboration between Robin Yount and Leroy Butler and their vodka lemonades. So, again, there's so many opportunities to come out and enjoy baseball right off the expressway there. Reasonably priced. You can in and out. You can stay for 4 or 5 innings. It's not like a full-day investment as, a little bit further south in Miller Park or AmFam Field.
Real quick, I want to mention, too, that, and follow me on this, what Steve Schmidt and the Madison Mallards have done in Madison are legendary. Northwoods League, it's college kids. This is different.
Right.
These are major league guys that are on the cusp. And and that was one of the things I want to bring up real quick about what the Dock Hounds are about. It's not that far of a drive from the Madison area to come down and see these guys play. Because of what Major League Baseball has done in the last 2 to 3 years, where they have downsized, there's an influx of players now that maybe 2 years ago you wouldn't have had.
Correct.
And the reason I bring this up is that some of the players you have, I mean, you were talking about it off air, and you should bring it up. This guy, the pitching coach over here, has got guys who are now in the league, in the show.
Yeah.
Because of it.
It's crazy. We lost another kid who played for the Brewers in 23. In 24, he played for the Yankees. His name was Clayton Andrews. We had him signed, though I didn't get to work with him or see him. He was under contract, and he's gone. Now, he didn't sign with an affiliate, but he took the next jump. He went to Mexico. Now we can go play in Mexico for a little bit and then get right back to the big leagues. But you're talking with our program only being 3 years in inception, we got 8 or 9 guys. But, again, it's different from the Northwoods Leagues, where the Northwoods Leagues is all those 20 teams, and they're college kids. They come in, they go back to school. These kids that we have are done with school or have either been told by the 30 major league teams that you need things to work on, and we can't afford the time or the money or the effort to teach you. So you need a place to go play, and then they can come back and hit us up. But, again, Lake Country Dock Hounds, the Milwaukee Milkmen, as you see it moving, there's another one coming up in Blaine, Minnesota. You go down to the Chicago, like I said, Chicago Dogs. I mean, there's a lot of Major League Baseball affiliates now that are I don't know, it's like a partner league. That's what we're called. We'll call it a partner league for exactly what you said, the development of players.
So you're talking about getting everything up and running. Your season is starting soon. Up until this week, it hasn't really felt like spring was coming. Because we had that snow last week.
Right.
We've had terribly cold weather. And it's like we were talking off air about how turkeys are starting to show up and everything. There are still, I did want to just mention that there are still some tags that are available for bonus tags, mostly Zone 1 and Zone 3. There are still some for Zone 2, but you're looking at the last week then. And I wanted to do something a little different. And we've talked about our hunt that's upcoming, and you guys are the elder statesmen here. So as we dive into this next week, I thought it might be interesting just for like our listeners who may have never gone pheasant hunting, Erik. And just to kind of talk about, like, what is that process like? Like, what can people expect as they would go into that? Or, like, what could they expect that hunt to look like?
It's different. I will tell you that. It reminded me of growing up on the farm where we would drive fields.
Yeah.
And you have to have your head on a swivel. And what I mean by that is not even for the birds, but, I mean, it's split second. And you've got to know where the dogs are.
Yeah.
You've got to know where, guys are, the spacing and that kind of stuff. I mean, you've done a ton of it, too.
Yeah.
Am I wrong in that?
No, and I think the best thing I like about it is you're going to get action. You're going to get action.
Yeah.
Because they put birds out
They'll
there.
put the birds out there.
Especially when you're on a game farm.
Yeah.
So then you get your separation between hunters, and you'll walk, and the dogs will kick them up, and they'll fly. But it's not like South Dakota ditch hunting. You never did that. But if you go out to the Dakotas and you ask a farmer, hey, can I walk your ditch line that's 13 miles long? They go, yeah, you can walk it. Yeah. And then you walk that ditch and you shoot them. But there's going to be action. It's exciting to that extent. It's more of a camaraderie thing. Like we said, you go back in, you have lunch afterwards. They take care of your birds. They'll clean them. They'll bring them out breasted. You bring in 5, they give you 5. You bring in 10, they give you 10.
Right.
You can buy different things. It's more of an outing per se. And you see that as large companies and businesses do their pheasant hunt outing there.
You know what I did? Okay, so I did, the first time I did this, Erik, I went with my father-in-law.
Okay.
I had no idea what I was doing. I hunted turkeys and I hunted deer and that type of stuff. So I went with a pump, Remington 870 Wingmaster, 12 gauge. Okay. And I quickly learned I had the wrong gun because you can't pump fast enough if you miss the first shot.
Right.
So what I ended up doing was I ended up buying an over-under, 12 gauge.
Okay.
And that's what I use because it's just boom, boom. I got 2 shots right there.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
So I should use my dad's over-under, not his. It's a semi-auto. The 12
so I
gauge.
use it regular because I know even with the plug-in, I use my Remington 8, my silver, because I can put 3 shots in there. So I got 1 in the chamber and I got 2. The plug's in there because it's a waterfowl, and I can't pull that plug out. But I got 3 shots at least. So that's good. So we got 5 shots. We got 7, 8 shots.
But you know what? The first time I'm like boom, and I'm pumping it. And I'm like,
exactly.
And my father-in-law pulls me aside. He goes, "Hey, this is what I use. Maybe you should consider getting a gun like that." And I ended up buying one later on that year.
Yeah. And so it's I as I'm like kind of looking and really looking forward to this, I did a little like research because I've never actually been to Milford Hills. We almost toured it to have our wedding there because of course that's it's such a beautiful thing. It's gorgeous scenery. So it's like 30-acre fields, which is what I've basically been shed hunting, is a 30-acre parcel of this public land. And so there's multiple dogs or there's a dog?
There'll be Dan has 2 dogs.
Okay.
You bring your own dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they run, what he does, at least when we went last year, he brought both dogs.
Okay.
And dogs get winded.
Yes.
So that they'll run one dog, and then the other one's back in the truck.
Interesting.
And then he'll swap out dogs.
Okay.
Yep.
I think, if I could just say this, I think I'm most excited just to see these dogs work.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's such a mastery and such a form of art for these dogs just in their natural habitat. And, I haven't done a whole lot with ours, with Hattie, but in the times that I have had her out, and even if it's in the backyard, I mean, if she hears birds, she'll stop what she's doing and she'll look. And she'll, like, it's a natural thing for them. It's what they do. Yeah. And I've seen videos and I've watched a few videos now just in terms of kind of figuring out the landscape and everything. I just think it's such a mastery to see these dogs who are well trained. It's what they do. It's what they're born to do. Right. Genetically, it's what they're predispositioned to do.
So my next door neighbor has a black lab, Lou. And he is out with Lou at least 3 to 4 nights a week.
Yeah.
Training this dog.
Yeah.
And we have a big kind of joint backyard parcel that we share, right? And he has a thing where it's like as they trained him to go fetch and that kind of stuff. Then the next step is gunfire.
Okay.
And so he has this thing in Wags. You probably have seen this before, where it simulates a gunshot and then it shoots like a ball or something, and he goes and gets it, right?
Yeah.
To see what that dog has become now, it's amazing. And he's
Yeah.
still out there in the backyard on that parcel working with Lou.
Yeah.
Doing his stuff. Yeah, it's really cool.
It's been really fun just to see her develop just in everything that I've worked with her on. I remember this so vividly. We were in the backyard and it was fall. It was, shortly after we got her. And I thought, one of these days, she's going to want to go chase a tennis ball and bring it back to me. Like, I couldn't get her to that point. She just was out there, and she was just happy to be outside in the yard. Oh. And then it's, okay, she loves chasing a tennis ball. I got to get her to bring it back to me. Okay, so then we get to that point, and then it's, okay, I'm going to throw a tennis ball. I'm going to have her wait. And then I'm going to tell her to go. I'm going to release her. So it's been interesting just to see that and to be able to work with that. I can't wait to be able to use that for something else besides just chasing a tennis ball. So to be able to go and experience that, I think selfishly that's really what I'm very excited about. I mean, I want to get a bird, and I want to know that I can actually do it, and that I can get off the schneid after I've got a few blanks under my skin here.
So here's the thing, okay? Like I always talk about my bad golf game, and I'll go to the driving range, right?
Yeah.
I've already texted my son. I said, son, Dad's coming out to the farm this weekend.
Yeah.
Can we put up a little clay pigeon toss so I can practice? He's like, sure, yeah. So,
that's great.
And I'll still miss. I'm just going to tell you guys ahead of time.
Yeah.
I did look at it because I couldn't remember if when they release the birds, do they only release roosters or roosters and hens?
Yeah.
It just says you can hunt pheasant hens at gun clubs. But I don't know, let's just say he has 15 birds.
Yeah.
We used to do it, I can remember this, we used to also release chuckers. Now, chucker is a smaller bird, a little faster and quicker, but there'll be chuckers and pheasants in there.
Okay.
And, but you don't have to yell like rooster, 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 like you do if you're hunting in the Dakotas.
You mean like
hens.
when you're goose hunting and you'd be sitting there half asleep because it's noon and they've flown to their other bedding spot, and you'll have a crane come over? And everyone will grab a gun, and somebody goes, crane, crane.
Yeah.
Guns come down.
Yeah, so what is it? It's like, do you just buy a set number of birds, or is it like 3 per person?
No.
Is like a limit? Or
he'll buy. He has X amount of birds. He'll say, I have $100 or $100. I have 100 birds in my account. Yeah. We're going to release 10 birds today. And you can also shoot birds that were not harvested for the prior group. So sometimes it's good. Like we had contemplated times. We were going to go early in the morning or in the afternoon.
Right.
So let's just say the way it's out for us is we're shooting in the afternoon, which is nice because in that field in the morning, let's just say they released 15 birds
and they only shot
12. Now we know there's 3 birds there, scratch birds that you can shoot, plus the 10 that you release, and now you got it.
So, and we'll know that ahead of time.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
Don't overthink this. The 9 to Noon guys did such a great job developing Nooner Day. And so we thought, Nooner Day is great, but what about the rest of us, right? I mean, we listen, to all the shows. And as the big voice guy said in his promo that, hey, you know what? We're like one big family, right? So we went and talked to our friends at Leff's, Lucky Town, and they have thrown epic tailgate parties for years, right? And COVID kind of slowed down the process, and so they wanted to kind of put their toe in the water again. So let's do a little partnership, right? And so we thought, okay, here's the deal, because we're in so many markets in the state. On Nooner Day, which was fantastic, but a lot of people, a day game and midweek is kind of hard, right? So we talked to our friends at the Milwaukee Brewers, and they said, what are you thinking? And we said, well, let's do something bigger. And I want a really good opponent. So June 13th, it's a Friday night. You got no excuses. 6:40 first pitch. It is the Brewers and the St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh, boy.
And
you'll be there.
And you get the lefts.
You'll be there.
No, I will be there.
You get the left's tailgate beforehand. and we like to say the fully stocked, wink, wink, Left's Tailgate. So you'll have plenty of beverages. Yeah. But again, it's not like it's just, hey, show up and you can come in. You got to buy a ticket, right? So as they used to say in those infomercials, so you get the Brewers and Cardinals, and you get the tailgate. So you're thinking, okay, what is it going to cost me? It's going to cost me probably $100 by the time I get done with shipping and handling, fees and all this other stuff. It's going to cost you $45 for
Not
your
bad.
game ticket. Now, again, this game ticket, by the way, it's not like up in the upper deck. This is a $40 ticket for $20.
Nice.
Not a bad deal.
Yep.
You will be there now.
I will not.
You're always looking for a value.
I can't. I know.
Again,
I got to pay it. I got to use my card because it's got to be free for me.
If you're listening on the app, wherever you are, thank you. If you're in Madison, if you're in Milwaukee or home base, you got no excuse. You have plenty of time. But it's not like we have a whole stadium, okay? We have if you've ever sat in the section of right field, right in the, where they have, it used to be the Mercedes-Benz VIP lounge down below.
Yeah.
Right above that. We have that whole section going back.
Oh, so you're right there in Davies Corner. So you'll see Craig and you'll see who's ever there, either Dillard or Vinny Rottino or somebody talking. Yeah.
So these are awesome seats, by the way. And so we have awesome seats. We have an awesome tailgate beforehand. Drew and KB are going to host the tailgate, so who knows what's going to happen.
Right.
And you know us. We'll have a few surprises before we're done with this.
Nice.
But get your tickets now, 973thegame.com/Brewers. And you can go online. I believe there's like a $4 handling fee. I mean, you can't buy anything without fees nowadays, right? So, but again, $45 get you in.
Nice. That's really nice.
So we're excited about that.
And not like there's going to be a game.
Yeah.
So you can make the drive from Madison. You can spend the time, visit, stay, enjoy yourself because there's going to be a ball game. Mm-hmm. There's going to be a ball game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like Monday, it's opening day. You're in Milwaukee against the Royals. It's supposed to snow. 34 degrees. And I'm like, who cares?
Yeah, that's fine.
We got a roof.
Close her up.
God,
we
turn the heat
on. When you see that and you know that and you experience it, I always think to myself, God, the Minnesota Twins and their ownership were idiots.
Yes.
And again, maybe there was a state and whatever, but, I mean, Target Field's a nice ballpark.
But it don't have a roof.
Doesn't have a roof.
Right.
I mean,
one of the northernmost baseball cities.
And you don't have a roof.
And
Your
you don't
football
have a roof.
stadium does.
Yeah.
But your baseball stadium
Yeah, I think that was flip-flopped. And nowadays, so many multi-event, your venue has to... Well, look what the Milwaukee Brewers did.
Right. Yep.
They had to put extra this money into this money, not to the baseball product, not to the field, but to upgrade the stadium so that they can possibly have concerts and stuff throughout the year. Now they can have it year-round, and that's what you need. You need to bring in some revenue. You can't just base it on 81 games out of the year.
So now I'm going to go back in time real quick, and we'll wrap this up. So the Brewers go to the World Series in '82. Opening day of '83, if I remember right. It was national TV because they were in the World Series the year before. And it snowed. And they played in the snow. There was flurries and snow. You remember what I'm talking about?
I think I've seen pictures of, Gorman. I think I've seen pictures of Gorman hitting with snow coming down over home plate while he's at bat.
Yeah.
So is that an advantage for pitchers or not an advantage for pitchers?
Hey, I'd take anything. Just for whatever would help me, I'd have took it. Snow, rain, sleet.
Yeah, well, they're not swinging at outside pitches because they don't want to hit it off the end of the bat.
Maybe they see that snow and think there's a lot of...
Again, I meant to do this at the top of the show.
It was Gorman.
Yeah, because we have a new audience. We have a new station we're on, 1070 The Game in Madison. People are saying Paul Wagner, and you and I are, we're nothing.
Yeah.
But Wags, again, this is the guy, and he downplays it. But I want to give him some love because you deserved it, man. You made reference to it earlier in the show today. You were in the big leagues for 9 years, 8 years.
Yeah, I played professional baseball for parts of 12, 13 years. Got drafted in '89 and retired in '04.
So you pitched for, obviously, the Pirates. That's where you started.
Correct.
Then you pitched for the Brewers. You pitched for the Indians.
And then
the Mets?
I played for the Mets. I didn't get to the big leagues. I got hurt, but I took money from them.
Yeah.
And then I was also with the Atlanta Braves in 98. And this is the story that all my buddies say is when I was there, I stayed there and I traveled with the team, but I didn't play actually.
Right.
But our good friend Erik Tasker, who does stuff with our country station down the hall, Morgan Wallen wrote a song about the 98 Braves when he was a kid, and they brought all the 98 Braves. So all my buddies went down to Truist Field, and Morgan put on a special concert for family and friends and very small to promote 98 Braves song. And my daughters, who've seen Morgan Wallen, and they're probably going up to Camp Randall to see Morgan Wallen this summer, are very disappointed that Paul didn't get called up. I didn't get to the big leagues.
You didn't make the roster.
I did not. I only played with their AAA team, and they did not call me up to the big leagues. Even one day would have made me a 98 Brave. So I'm still trying to talk my daughters.
I didn't realize that it was 98 because that's exactly what I was thinking about the entire time, that he's got that song that's like such a nostalgic kind of song. And I was like, this guy thinks he's not a big deal. Morgan Wallen wrote a song about this. And then he's like, oh, man.
About Paul Wagner.
Yeah.
No, so
you know what?
Not a good career. Not a good career.
Andrews.
I will say this with you in the room. Leo Mazzoni was so overrated as a pitching coach. He just didn't respect what you had.
You know what? Yeah. And Bobby Cox, even though he's a Hall of Fame manager, I don't know what he was thinking. Unfortunately,
he probably called Leland, right? Jimmy, what do you think?
And Jimmy said, No. Jimmy, what about this Wagner kid? Should I come? No. He burned me. No. No, thank you.
That
great. People don't know up in Madison, but there's some people up there, and like Brad Woodall and stuff like that we've all been able to experience it. And
did you and Brad didn't cross paths?
Yeah, we played in Milwaukee together. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because I know Brad was. He was a hot guy at one time in the Braves organization because I knew Brad because Brad worked with one of my sons in baseball. He did some baseball stuff with us on the radio with Mike Heller back in the day. And Brad was in the minors with Avery and Glavin and those guys, right?
Yeah, he
played ball in North Carolina.
He went to North Carolina,
right? Yeah.
And he runs a program up there in Madison right now. I believe he's just
Silver
in Verona.
Sluggers?
Silver Sluggers or Silver? Yeah, Silver Sluggers.
Silver Sluggers, yeah.
And obviously got a great program there. But Brad was a lefty, kept in shape. He's a specimen. He eats good. He does shakes and he works out.
He's a good looking dude.
Yeah, and I'm. I'm the pitcher who doesn't.
He hit the gene pool lottery not once but twice, maybe 3 times.
Yeah. Brad. Yeah,
he's a super good dude, though.
He is. He's a really good guy. But anyway, yes, we did cross, but to get the opportunity to play, it was very fortunate. Obviously, it didn't run further than I wanted to, but going into the early 2000s and stuff like that and still being part of baseball was something special, obviously.
Yeah, we like to, show a little love because, I know you downplay it, but it's like Butchie. You guys did it. It's like, when Kuhn was a regular piece of what we were doing. We look at it from a fan standpoint. The coolest thing for me on this journey we've created here is I've got to know you as a person. I knew you when you played, and sometimes I wonder why I invested in this friendship, but, Erik warned me.
I gave you the heads up. But, what a legend. 98 Braves, a whole song from Morgan Wallen about you.
I know. So my daughters are still mad. So whenever the song comes out, I got to quick turn the channel because then
before they realize
they'll roll their eyes. Yeah, they'll roll their eyes and then they'll ignore me for 2 hours because I didn't get to take them down to Truist Field to see Morgan Wallen.
So
and Denny calls. So I played with Denny Nagel. Denny played there. He actually won 20 games that year with the Braves, I believe, when they had the Smoltz Clan. But anyway, and Denny's sending me videos with his daughter. And I'm like, this is not good. This is not helping me back in Wisconsin. Oh, you should be down here. You should have just came. I'm like, no, I wasn't.
I was on the team.
I was on the team.
Listen, the Richmond Braves don't count.
I know. But he goes, you were part of it. So we went down there, and you're with the team, but I was never activated. I was never part of it. So you're there. You meet all the guys, and you know them, but I wasn't on there. And Morgan Wallen at 5 years old sitting on his grandma's couch or whatever the song goes, he sure as hell don't remember Paul Wagner.
By the way, and where did I see this? Was it on Netflix? There was a documentary about Greg Maddux. If you haven't seen it, you need to search it and watch it. And it's his story about how small he was and growing up and how he learned to pitch and how dominant he was and that type of stuff. That guy's a psychopath when it comes to pitching.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And he can still get people out.
Yeah.
And, you know, as I watch this, and they alluded to this, sometimes, and you know this, that your reputation gives you a little bit more when it comes to umpires. Like they always talking about Glavine could paint the corner and Maddox could do this. And they both said, yeah, we could. But after a while, we just got the benefit of the doubt sometimes.
Oh, you don't. Yeah. I mean, that's 100% true. You didn't see this because you're too young. But those guys, rest in peace, there was an umpire named Eric Gregg. Okay. Eric Gregg was giving, I mean, he was consistent. I'll give him that. He was consistent. He wasn't like Angel Hernandez or those other guys who blatantly missed, with the Fox box and stuff like that. But Eric Gregg, if you could be consistent, if you could show somebody where you could pitch, you got that. And those guys got that reputation, and they got those pitches. And then you get a guy like me who's just trying to, hey, can you just give me a break? Nope. You get Joe West looking at me, just staring at me, and I'm like, I better not say nothing to this guy.
Cowboy Joe West.
So the beginning of that 98 Braves song, he talks about thinking no way them boys wouldn't win between them big three pitchers.
So Glavine, Schmaltz.
No, it was Glavine,
Schmaltz, and Maddox.
Wagner were the big three.
He would have changed it to 4.